Okay, so for week 7 of fall anime, I've been keeping up with a lot more animes. So yeah, the shows continue. Great stories. I've cut through my backlog, so I'm gonna talk about a few more shows this week. Some of them are kind of good, like the guy who turned into a pig. That one is actually like not as degenerate as I would have thought. It's still kind of hard to get into. Like the animation quality is nothing special, but you know they're cooking something. There's also a Returner's Magic should be special. I saw the first episode and it didn't really keep up too much, but like I heard it was like a very popular webtoon. I mean, it still is ongoing. So yeah, the anime is a bit generic, but you know, I kind of caught up to it. There's also some Netflix shows. One is Pluto, which I heard so many good things about. People are like, this is my anime of the year. It's like an 8-episode Netflix show, hour-long episodes. Very in-depth, a lot of like serious character moments, a lot of dialogue between everyone, setting up the story in this kind of like artificial robot world. So I kind of dig this a lot. I didn't finish it. I'm like 5 episodes deep, so yeah, forgive me. There's just like way too much stuff to watch. Besides that, there's another Netflix anime, the Scott Pilgrim one. So I've only seen the first episode. There's also 8 episodes for this. This series is pretty much taking nerd culture and like making it into like this funny dating action show. But first episode I thought was okay. They're kind of like making their own story. But one thing I noticed, there wasn't like the iconic concert in this episode. So yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting. But besides that, let's talk about more animes. So I guess I'll start off with Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, Episode 17, because it was an insane episode. I'll talk about it very quickly, because there's like a lot of like negativity in the series. We all know how evil MAP is in this production, literally overworking the animators just to get high quality episodes to be released on time. This episode was barely finished, just like hours before the airtime. But like surprisingly, this episode was insane. Like they kind of used like a lot of like chaotic sketching and just like explosive fast forward action to show just like two gods fighting. So it's Sukuna versus Makura Mahoraga, this big ass white monster. So yeah, where does he come from? Well, Megumi summoned him. So yeah, Megumi got stabbed by Haruta, just like this big fodder guy. This dude took out Nobara and now he took out Megumi. Megumi obviously got injured because he had to like hold on to his domain expansion and also fight off Toji. So yeah, he has like this big stab wound in his stomach. So he can't get healed anymore. So he decides to just like sacrifice his life and he summons Mahoraga. So yes, this dude is finally here. One of the kind of sickest, strongest, scariest dudes. 8 grip sword, diversion Scylla, divine general Mahoraga. Yeah, this dude has a long ass title and Megumi summons him. This is the final Shikigami that Megumi can summon. And if he can tame it, then you know he'll be unstoppable. But Gojo gives us a bit of backstory beforehand. No one has ever been able to defeat Mahoraga. And the previous 10 Shadows user a while ago fought the previous Limitless user, and a 10 Shadows user won using Mahoraga. So yeah, it's like this big white angelic monster. It has like this giant wheel on its back, and its eyes have like a bunch of tentacles sticking out of it. So Megumi summoned him because he was like, if I create a ritual, then no one can escape. Mahoraga can one-shot everyone involved in the ritual, and I'll die, but also take one dude with me. So Sukuna needs Megumi for his plan. He loves Megumi, so he saves him. So yeah, Megumi can't die because this ritual is going on, so Sukuna kind of heals up Megumi, saves Haruta, and now is fighting Mahoraga. So yeah, this fight was insane. Mahoraga kind of like takes Sukuna, slashes head on. Sukuna kind of taking his time because he's like enjoying being free, causing a lot of destruction, destroying buildings, literally eating popcorn while fighting. And then we see Sukuna's power, which is just like slashing. It's literally so simple, but it's kind of dangerous because he can just like slash buildings, matter, people. And then yeah, he's just like destroying Mahoraga. Thing is, yeah, we get his powers. So this dude, he has the ability to adapt to anything. So yeah, once the wheel spins and he takes like an attack, he can kind of just like not get affected by it anymore. So basically all of Sukuna's slashes, they seem to like be hitting Mahoraga, but once he adapts, the ability just like doesn't matter anymore. He just like continuously heals it. So you have to just like hit him with different one-shot abilities before he can adapt, I guess. So yeah, only like a few people are strong enough to actually do that. And then yeah, since Sukuna's fighting him, bro, this fight was insane. They're fighting through the city. Just like beating each other up, climbing through buildings. There's people here as well, so yeah, Sukuna doesn't really care who's in this way. So yeah, TLDR, just a shit ton of destruction. This animation was like very sick. Like I saw a tweet that said this episode was 30% finished because the directors and animators didn't have time to like show the whole vision. But goddamn, I thought it was a stylistic choice because everything was so chaotic. There was a few flaws, of course, where Sukuna, he finally summons his domain Malevolent Shrine to kind of overwhelm Mahoraga. The thing is, his domain also encompasses like a lot of the area of Shibuya. So basically Sukuna just like slashes Mahoraga continuously. His domain is called Malevolent Shrine, which we know, but then he also has his techniques Cleave and Dismantle, which just destroys everything around him. So yeah, literally all the buildings and the people are shredded into just matter. And then Mahoraga, since like these slashes don't affect him anymore, he's kind of like out healing the damage. So Sukuna kind of like shoots the fire arrow, blows him up, burns him, and yeah, rest in peace. So much destruction. He shows Yuji at the end as well. And yeah, Yuji kind of like throwing up. They also played the opening as Yuji sees all the destruction he caused. So I guess this dude, it's kind of all his fault, basically. You know, you didn't control the demon inside of you. And now like maybe thousands of people are dead. So yeah, what can you do? You know, very chaotic episode. Just like makes you feel despair. Like this was a huge incident. There's no coming back from this. And it makes you wonder what's gonna happen next. Like how do we go from here? Well, I guess every big villain is defeated. Sukuna, Megami's big white monster, Toji, Dagon, Jogo, Hanami, they're all gone. So it's very much just Mahito up next. But yeah, this episode did have a bunch of flaws, of course, where one Sukuna's domain was just like not drawn at all. It's kind of just like a lightly sketched red object. A lot of other parts from this fight were kind of paused, so maybe they didn't have time to add more scenes. Maybe some of the characters weren't as detailed. Also, there was like a shot of Yuji's face, which was pretty much just sketched. I mean, they did a good job disguising it as a stylistic choice. And I think there's 6 episodes left, which is a lot. But yeah, I'm prepared for the quality to go down. But yeah, that's it for Jujutsu Kaisen though. Alright, so for Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, episode 11. Yes, the demons are killed. Frieren destroyed Aura. Burn and Sturk also defeated the other demons. They're a bit injured, kind of resting, but it's kind of like a happy episode. We finally defeated the villain. Now it's more happy, fun time, fantasy adventures. They first pay respects to all the dead soldiers that Aura controlled. And after that, all the citizens in the city, they kind of like cheer for the hero. So they kind of continued their journey up north, but what do they see? It is snow. So it's a huge blizzard they're caught up in. They can't go into the forest. They can't see anything because they're lost. It's just like big white cold. And Sturk also kind of gets knocked out from the cold. So it's looking pretty bad. I guess they don't have any like fire magic to heat them up. This isn't Mushoku Tensei where Rudy is kind of just like turned off the whole blizzard. And they do find refuge inside this cabin in the blizzard. But there is someone in there. It's an elf. It is Kraft the monk. Yes, Kraft mac and cheese out here. And he's pretty funny and laid back, but also wants to talk to Frieren because they're both elves. So yeah, they get to relate to each other a bit. Frieren doesn't really want to talk about her whole backstory. So yeah, we don't really learn anything about these elves. Kraft is a monk, so he is a bit religious. He explains that his belief comes from like his long life, where like all his deeds, every action he does, he needs someone to like reward him for it. So that's why he believes in the god, because he wants someone to thank him for his hard work. Frieren has friends around her, so I guess she's not that lonely, so she doesn't really need to believe in a god. So that's an interesting outlook on both of their kind of beliefs. And besides that, they kind of brave the blizzard and continue on with their journey. So Kraft and Frieren's party kind of go their separate ways, but you know, pretty chill episode. This anime does a good job kind of incorporating action scenes, great animation, with also like kind of cool fantasy slice of life adventures. Okay, so for Ragna Crimson episode 8, really loving these episodes. These characters are so crazy. Really love seeing a lot of them. Very unique designs. And yeah, nothing really annoying about anything. So yeah, when we see Nebulum, he kind of like evolves into like a next level dragon because he had this innate power inside of him, but he was just like too young to like release it. So now he can like kind of dimension hop with his barriers. So yeah, that's kind of cool. We also see Crimson. She was kind of baiting Ultimatia to use her kind of like time rewind power to rewind the world again. Because Crimson literally had bombs throughout the city planet. So she blows them up. Hundreds of people are dying, literally getting rubble falling on top of them, getting blown up and confused. So Ultimatia is just like in shambles. And Nebulum kind of stops her from going back in time. So yeah, Crimson's plan failed because they wanted to kill Ultimatia here and now, but then since Ragna's incapacitated, they decide to leave. So yeah, I guess that's like a bit lame. They kind of teleport to Crimson's lunar palace. So Ragna kind of wakes up. He's so angry. He's kind of charging his energy. He's like, I'm not going to go down. I have to kill Ultimatia here and now. I can't just run away. Because he remembers the flashback with Leo, where Leo kind of tells him that you can't let dragons live. You can't just like take a chance. You have to always kill them if you have the opportunity. But Ragna's in no shape to kind of fight anymore. He's bleeding. So yeah, in all this chaos, they kind of teleport away into like a different location. And yeah, it's kind of crazy. New arc over here, we have like the Silverware Princess. So they kind of teleport into her kingdom's teleportation circle. And then yeah, we just meet a new character, new environment. We kind of forget about Ultimatia for now. And yeah, I really love this princess. She has like such a cool character design. She was kind of born with no arms, so she has like 2 shoulder stumps. And then she has telekinesis, so she can literally control anything. She sees like the aura inside of objects and can just like control them. So her name is also Starlia, and she's basically interrogating Crimson. She has like this whole squad of people around her, so a lot of new characters were introduced with. Since she can see the aura around every object, she can also sense that inside of people. So you can't lie to her. Or if you do lie to her, you have to kind of control your emotions so she doesn't doesn't see it fluctuate. Since Crimson is always plotting something, this is probably going to go really bad for her, and she might die. But the thing is, Crimson is immortal, so I guess it doesn't matter. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's pretty funny, kind of like a new character we're introduced with, a new area. And one thing I was wondering while I was watching this series is like, they seem to be like speed running through these dragon kills. So yeah, I wonder how long this series will have if we just like destroy dragons left and right. But yeah, they're doing a good job kind of padding the length, adding new characters, environments. So yeah, Ragna Crimson does continue as we meet the Silverware Princess. Alright, for Undead Unluck episode 7, yes, very good episode, very emotional as well. Love the storytelling. Every week, just like it's something new is just like enticing me. The fights are well written. The character moments also connect very cleanly. So yeah, a lot of stuff happens here. Basically, Andy's fighting the giant spoil titan Uma, who turns everyone into zombies, but all the zombies are working with Andy to fight back. And then we also see Andy's bride. We saw that before she died, before she turned to a zombie. She kind of rescued all the little kids that were in their underground bunker. And those were the same kids that Fuko and Shen kind of came across. So they didn't spoil yet, and we learned that it's because they have dreams. So if you keep remembering your dreams, then the spoil timer goes up. So that's a bit cheesy, but I guess like every power has a rule. So yeah, this rule is like, if you have inspirations, if you want to live, then you won't turn into a zombie. But I really love the flashback where we got the teacher's identity because, you know, it tells us a lot. And she finally did get married. So they realized, yo, let's use Fuko's Unluck. So if anyone touches Fuko and then they go back to touch spoil, they just turn into like a human bomb. So then the teacher just hugs Fuko for a long time. It was kind of sad because I was like, yeah, this is the last time we're gonna see her. Her arc is finished, her life is over, she got married, and now yeah, she can die happy. So she turns into like this big walking disaster, goes into spoil and like kind of blows him up, drops him into a rift, and yeah, I guess that's it for him. But no, he goes to phase 2, so yeah, he swallows all of these zombies, and he kind of looks even more big and armored. He kind of looks like the Statue of Liberty, and he has like this giant laser that destroys anything. So even if Andy gets hit by it, he might not even out-heal the damage. So everyone's fighting phase 2 of spoil. He's a bit tougher, but then Shen and Fuko realize, yo, if we just think about our dreams, we won't turn into zombies. We just gotta dodge this laser and beat him up. So yes, I guess the fighting continues. We end the episode there. But yeah, very solid, very inspirational, and can't see where it goes next week. Alright, so for Goblin Slayer Season 2, Episode 7, we kind of fight more enemies. There's like this big giant elephant. It's called the Mokeli Mubenbe. So yeah, it's kind of like this big giant dinosaur. I'm not sure if this is like a real animal, but yeah, it's kind of like a cool fantasy creature. But it looks like the goblins are also controlling them. So yes, these goblins are kind of wreaking havoc on this village. That's a good thing Goblin Slayer kind of showed up just in time. And Goblin Slayer and the party kind of look around for good measure to kind of like ward off the rest of the goblins to keep the village safe. So yeah, a lot of like cool character moments as they're kind of like relaxing in the village, and then they set off the next day. They see there's like a lot of dead elves that the goblins kind of strung up, so the priestess, she's kind of sad. And then they find the water supply. It's kind of like in this underground tunnel. And then they see that the goblins are also kind of like hiding out here as well. They're basically shredding up kidnapped elves and throwing them into the river. And basically this river is kind of polluted with elf blood and feces. It's kind of gross. And then yeah, their situation is a lot more serious. There's probably more goblins, so the party's kind of resting underground, maybe waiting for more goblins. So there's probably going to be some more fights next week. I mean, leave it to this anime. Every week, no matter where we go, we're fighting goblins all the time. And yeah, they're just as brutal as ever. So hopefully the priestess feels better. You know, this is very tough on her. And they do need to kill all the goblins to keep the elf village safe. Okay, so for Arknights Perish in Frost episode 7, I kind of like this episode. It was like the cute moment between Frost Nova and the Doctor. We also only have one episode left. The finale is next week. So yeah, quick 8-episode show. There are a lot of like highs and lows. I think season 1 was a bit better so far. But I mean, this anime did have that big ass Frost Nova fight scene on episode 2, so that was nuts. But yeah, basically this episode we see what happened with Amiya and the team while they were fighting Frost Nova. And then yeah, how they were able to escape. So basically Blaze came in, she kind of like helped everyone. And then there was like a big collapse in the ground. And Frost Nova and the Doctor kind of fell through and just like are stuck in a tunnel together, which is kind of convenient and weird because they were on opposite sides. How they fall in the same hole. But yeah, anyway, we don't talk about that. So yeah, it's them two. The Doctor kind of doesn't kill Frost Nova. She's surprised, like, oh, I thought we were enemies. So they kind of hit it off. They talk, share candy. It's very cute. We hear about Frost Nova's backstory, where she was like an orphan, her parents got killed, and everyone in her village, all the little kids, were kind of set to work in the mines. And this shit was happening for a long time until we see Patriot kind of rescue her. But because Frost Nova got infected, now she's just suffering. She's so cold. She can't feel anything. She can't touch anybody. So yeah, her life is suffering. Also, yeah, she's dying of the rock cancer, so she doesn't have enough time to live. But basically, they kind of have like a mutual agreement, a truce. Everyone kind of rescues both of them. And then yeah, they're both going to to Lungmen. So yeah, that's what happened beforehand. After everything kind of happened in Lungmen, you know, shit is kind of dire. We saw that Foss died, and then a lot of Lin's forces, these kind of like Black Ronin looking dudes, are just like killing everyone. So Frost Nova's team, the Yetis, decide to hold them off, fight against them, while Frost Nova and Mephisto kind of escape. It's a bit sad because we see the Rhodes Island members don't want all this destruction. They don't want all these people to die. Yeah, a lot of devastation so far. We see Frost Nova is still alive. I mean, episode 8, it's probably gonna be the Frost Nova fight part 2. Probably gonna be super emotional. I'm hoping that they, you know, save the budget for the last episode. Hopefully the finale's very good. But yeah, the anime does continue. Alright, so for Dr. Stone, New World Part 2, Episode 6. So yes, the battle continues. We see Senku's forces. They're kind of like going on boats to rush his ship. That's kind of crazy. There's a lot of people here, right? How are they gonna take back the ship? So yeah, they just do it with the power of science or like the power of sorcery. So yeah, Magma has the gun. He's just like blasting with the gun. Everyone's so scared. Senku kind of throws his magnesium fireworks on the gun barrel. So they kind of like shoot this big sparkling laser beam. Everyone's so scared they just like hop over the ship. But it's not over yet. We see Maz is coming in. This dude is strong. So yeah, he can beat anybody. So Senku kind of baits him into the basement of the ship where they have Hyoga in there. He's the big spear guy, the antagonist of last season. So yeah, they kind of free him. And yeah, I guess he's on their side. So yeah, he supports Senku and his team because they have like real concrete goals. And I guess it's a good thing because he distracts Maz. The thing is, Maz kind of like knocks him out with a strong hit. So yeah, power scaling is kind of insane. But yeah, the pacing is really cool. We see all these characters. There's also Kirisame. She's with Ibara, the old man. So he kind of tells her to freeze all the islanders because he sees that Taiju Yuzuriha, they kind of fixed up the village elder's body. So they're like, if he reveals the secret, my plans are ruined. So Kirisame, she sees that something is wrong. She gets turned into stone. Ibara backstabbed her. And now he controls the green beam. He's about to like freeze everybody. But then Yoka comes in with the gun, the most unlikely savior, and he shoots Ibara in the hand. Let's go. I was kind of not expecting anyone to get shot because I'm like, yeah, this is a shonen anime. Guns might be a bit too violent, but yeah, they did it. So yeah, his hand has like a big hole in it. He drops the petrifying circuit. Yo picks it up, and yeah, everything's looking happy so far. I won't count my blessings just yet because this is only episode 6. But I mean, hopefully we wrap things up, maybe save people, defeat the villains. We'll see, but this anime keeps going crazy. Really enjoy watching it. Alright, so for the Eminence and Shadow, Season 2, Episode 7. Yes, we wrap up the John Smith arc. He kind of betrayed Shadow Garden, but Shadow Garden realizes that he has a secret plan. He's kind of protecting them, and he's using like this financial collapse to actually destroy the Diablos cult, and he's gonna redistribute the money, the gold, back to Shadow Garden. So yeah, they kind of like decipher that plan. Alpha was super sad, but she becomes happy again. We see that Delta is also alive, the wolf girl, so yeah, she returns. So yeah, all of Shadow Garden are doing their thing. We see Shadow himself, he's helping the White Fox Lady kill the evil villain Geton. And basically Shadow kind of beats him up so hard, he's like, oh, do you have anything to say for yourself? Geton is like, no, and then Shadow just like keeps punching him in the face repeatedly. Geton is basically getting tortured until he says that, oh, I regret trying to be strong. Take care of the girl, blah, 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 and then yeah, he dies. Everything is back to normal. Shadow doesn't bury his body. He has a shovel trying to look for like leftover gold that Geton might have, but he can't find it because Shadow Garden took it all. It's in the vaults. So yeah, it's over. Shadow's plan to get rich quick destroyed the economy. It didn't work. I guess John Smith is retired now. But yeah, this arc was kind of crazy. It was very funny as well. And yeah, I guess I'm happy we're back to normal. I wonder what's gonna happen next. We see Delta kind of like helping Shadow dig. And then she kind of finds something, so maybe that's the next plot point. Alright, so for the Apothecary Diaries, episode 7, Mama's kind of continuing her investigation. She realizes that this bowl, this like poison soup, was meant for Lishu, the young consort, and it looks like she's being bullied on the inside. So her ladies in waiting don't really like her, maybe because she's like immoral. She was married to the emperor, and now she's fucking the emperor's son. And it also explains why a poison tester gave her food that she was allergic to. And then Mama also reveals that she can find fingerprints. So yes, I guess we're using CSI technology right now. This girl Mama is so smart. And also after that, Mama realizes that she can go back home. It's been like 10 months, almost a year that she's been in this like inner palace. And she realizes that the men can actually leave and escort the women outside. So Mama kind of bribes the army dude that like gave her the hairpin. She's like, I'll hook you up with this brothel that I have connections to if you can take me outside. So yeah, this dude is getting bribed with sex. It does work. And then Mamao gets to go back home. We see that the old brothel lady is mad that Mamao like disappeared for 10 months. But yeah, I guess she's doing good for herself. Also, after that, she does go home, and it's a feel-good moment because she gets to see her dad. Her dad is happy. He seems a bit indifferent, but yeah, I guess it's good that they get to see each other again. And yeah, she sleeps at home. So yeah, solid episode. Just like Mamao being smart, good main character. Everything's working out for her, and yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen next time. Alright, so for Spy Family Season 2, Episode 7, so yes, this fight on this boat continues. You are beating up Sickle and Chain Barnaby. She's a bit slower because I guess she doesn't want to get seriously injured. She's kind of struggling within herself. Should I take care of my family? Should I just like focus on my assassination job? That kind of slows her down on her missions, but she's still strong enough to beat up all these villains. So she ties up this chain guy with his own chain and knocks him out, like hits his pressure points, and takes care of him before Lloyd can come out from the changing room. We see that they still have to be careful for one more day, like the enemies are still on their trail. They can kind of smell them, so yeah, they have like all these different powers. Lloyd is trying his best to make Anya happy, but Anya wants to like take care of Yor, hang out with her, so none of Lloyd's plans really work, and Anya just spends like the whole day kind of like having fun on the cruise ship. But yeah, besides that, another solid episode, very well animated, the fight with the chain guy, so can't wait to get more next week. This arc is like hitting really well. Okay, so for the 100 girlfriends that really love you, so episode popping off again, new girl we meet, her name is Kusuri, so she's part of the chemistry club. She makes a lot of drugs, these different types of magical potions that just like changes your body, gives you superpowers. So yeah, this girl is out of control. But yeah, she falls in love with Rentaro, their eyes meet, and then he meets her. So when he first saw her, she was like kind of this hot, busty, big woman. But now she kind of like turns into like this cute little girl. So yeah, I guess she has two modes. So yeah, this one girlfriend comes in two packages. Since she falls in love with him, she also spikes his strength with a love potion. And then she confesses to him, and then he tries to throw up the medicine because he's like, no, I don't need any drugs to kind of confess to you. I'm already in love with you. And yeah, random wholesome moment, he accepts her feelings. And yeah, new girlfriend added to the team. So I think this is the 5th girlfriend. So it's all pretty funny. They're just hanging out, trying out different drugs. The typical fan service and harem stuff is going on, but we get this crazy ass finale here. So she made this kind of like super potion that she was about to feed to Rentaro. The thing is, the girls tried the potion instead of him, and this drug affects girls a lot more strongly, so they just turn into kiss zombies. Their whole personality's overwritten, and unless they have the counter antidote in an hour, then they'll just be forever stuck kissing Rentaro, not having their own personality. So he has an actual conflict happening, Rentaro with these like zombie girls on his ass. He has to kind of run away with Kusuri and try to give them the counter antidote, so I guess that'll bleed into next episode, we'll see. But yeah, very crazy, very funny, and yeah, more girls being introduced, I'm happy. This anime title really wasn't the lie. They're giving us all these different girls in a lot more different situations. Alright, so for Shy episode 7, another cute episode. So last week they went to Antarctica to fight some new villains. It was kind of a serious fight. A lot of people got injured. Papacia, she's like a bit sad. There's also some cute Yuri moments between Papacia and Shy trying to like cheer Papacia up. So yeah, that was cool. Also, after that second part of the episode, we see Shy. She has to join another kind of like stage group. She's cosplaying as this magical girl, and she's very embarrassed, but she's kind of like taking it in stride. All the people kind of care about her. They ask questions on the interview. So yeah, she's kind of happy. But then one kid who's like a big fan of the magical girl, he's like, "You're a fake. You can never be her." And he kind of runs away. So at the end, Shy feels that he's a bit troubled, so she tries to help him out, talk to him. And then he lets go of his balloon, so Shy actually grabs it. And he's like, wow, you're just like the magical girl. Oh my god. And now he kind of gets obsessed with her. Also at the end, she kind of like gets gifted a box set collection of the magical girl DVDs, so she kind of binges it and falls in love with it. So yeah, I guess that's also kind of cute. And yeah, that's it for Shy. Alright, so for Shangri-La Frontier episode 8, really crazy good game anime, so in depth. I say it every time I review this anime, but yeah, each mechanic is crazy. They're adding more mechanics to this like big ass good MMO. And our main character, Sanraku, is just like styling on this world, doing his best, kind of optimizing everything, using his knowledge on games to kind of like create these unique scenarios for him. So yeah, right now he's still like in the bunny arc. He's kind of working with all the rabbit people, and he's training, fighting stronger enemies. After a lot of training, they decide to explore the overworld, so they have the options to go to like different places. But the thing is, as Sanraku is trying to make his decision with Emil, the little rabbit, he sees Saiger Zero, the big night girl, just like on his ass stalking him. And we end the episode there, so it's kind of scary. But we know Saiger, or Rei, is just in love with Sanraku, so she just wants to introduce herself, play the game together. So yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen next episode. But yeah, this anime is very fun, very high quality, and there's so many new game mechanics every episode. Alright, so for Tearmoon Empire episode 7, Yes, Princess Mia is back here. She's succeeding, trying to like save her ass from the guillotine. She maintained really friendly relationships with all the people in the Royal Academy. So now she's kind of like going back home on like summer vacation, try to resolve things for the future. She sees that there's two more problems that she might have to overcome. The first one is that there's going to be a famine. So no matter how much food they have now, if they can't grow any more food, they have to rely on merchants from other cities, other towns to kind of trade it. But the thing is, it's so expensive, right? So Mia realizes, why don't we stock up now? So she's kind of doing like friendship prices by like overpaying for the goods now, so they won't change in value in the future. So now Mia's kind of more prepared for the oncoming famine, and everyone else thinks like, oh, she's so generous. And yeah, Ludwig is also helping her out. So yeah, she solves the famine crisis, but now there's an even bigger crisis. So there's the Forest of Stillness, where there's a lot of indigenous people living in. And then Mia's kingdom and a lot of other nobles want to like deforest the area, steal their trees and their land. And in the future, there might be a war, a lot of people might die. So yeah, this would also lead to Mia's downfall. So she has to kind of stop her kingdom from overtaking the territory. So Mia does this. She kind of like joins the front lines with all the soldiers. And then she asks the head soldier, oh, there's no need for you here, right? And then he's like, yeah, our presence here will only like raise tensions. It might cause a war, but we need a valid reason in order to like kind of back away and retreat. Mia kind of kicks a tree on purpose, and then they get attacked by the indigenous people because they always respect the trees. And then Mia uses this as an excuse to have everyone escort her back to the kingdom. And now they don't have to like be stationed here anymore. So yeah, pretty solid plan by Mia. The thing is, she realizes that she dropped her hairpin that was also made from these trees, so she has to kind of recover it. So I'm assuming she does go recover it, maybe not on her own, but maybe she kind of befriends some of the tribespeople next episode. We gotta see, but yeah, the situation is getting more complex. It's not as easy as Mia does like one or two things. Alright, so for the Vexations of a Shut-In Vampire Princess, episode 7. Yeah, I'm really liking this anime. I didn't really like the initial part of it because I thought, okay, just another fan service, random fantasy show with a bit of comedy. I thought it was like a bit overplayed. But then there's like a lot of solid emotional connections. A lot of characters have very traumatic backstories, either abusive parenting or like a lot of pressure being put on them, or getting bullied. A lot of problems could be solved by just being nice to each other. But yeah, in this kingdom, everyone's kind of going to war for no reason. And yeah, there's a lot of like family power balance and struggles. So Komari is kind of going to war with this other clan. They seem to be very strong. But then this white-haired girl comes in and saves Komari. Her name is Sukuna. And then she seems to have her own kind of backstory that we'll probably discover next week. Alright, so for the story of a man who turned into a pig, episode 7. Like I said, this anime's not too bad, you know, just like going on fantasy trips. So yeah, the main girl Jess and this pig, they're kind of traveling together, going on this like kind of big journey to kind of go to the capital to get the pig his own body back. And also, yeah, there's some conflict this episode because Jess, she can hear like a voice praying, like a voice calling out to her for help. So her and Notos kind of go discover it. They realize like it's coming from a church, and they realize that this church is kind of kidnapping servants. So then they go kind of rescue everybody, knock out all the evil people, and arrest them. So it looks like they continue their travels. More characters are kind of added to the party. Okay, so for our dating story, episode 7, Runa and Ryoto are together on the beach. They're living together for the summer. So yeah, very convenient. Runa's extended family are all kind of like okay with this. They're getting a lot closer. They're like kind of reaching Runa's 2-month anniversary. So yeah, that's like a big deal. And then yeah, they're super close, hold hands, feed each other, cook food, and they attend the festival together. So this is also very cute. They wear the yukatas and robes. Ryoto gives Runa like this blue ring made out of like some type of moonstone, they called it. Runa loves it so much. She's also very insecure because Ryoto is experiencing all these things for the first time. For Runa, since she had sex with a lot of men before, she went on dates before, so she kind of feels sad that she's not doing this with someone she loves for the first time. But Ryoto is like, it doesn't matter what you did in the past. You're still enjoying yourself now, and all these experiences you're having with me are new. It's wholesome. They kind of kiss watching the fireworks. So yeah, you know, nothing too crazy. Like we see the third girl, Kurose, like she's very jealous. She doesn't even want to visit them for the summer because yeah, they're part of like the same household. So yeah, the love triangle shit is still very painful. And yeah, this anime still continues to be random self-insert, just like perfect situation. And also we have Helck episode 19. So yeah, I've been continuing watching this anime. It's a 2-core, and this season is kind of crazy because it's literally just backstories. Like it's all of Helck's backstory just split off into just multiple episodes. And it basically stems with him and Kless, how they were younger, they were poor, and they were just like struggling, trying to survive. And then they made it they kind of like befriended some of the nobles, and now they're living like a good life. But then yeah, after that we see how everything bad happens. This final episode showed that the evil doctor and the king in this kingdom, they're kind of killing all the people, using them to make like super strong heroes or monsters. And yeah, that results in literally most of the humans in the kingdom dying. All of Helck's friends get experimented on and are just like mindless people that just want to get stronger. So yeah, it's pretty tragic. We see Helck's brother is also kind of just like barely alive, and his body is being used to power everything up. So yeah, we finally realize who the real villain is. We have to stop them. Helck entrusts all of this to Vermilio, and yeah, they finally reach the Demon Kingdom. And that's it for the shows this week. Thank you for watching. Animes this week have been solid, you know, the shows go on. I'm keeping up with a lot of them, so yeah, a lot of solid stories, cool action scenes, good animation. We're definitely very spoiled for content right now. So yeah, gonna keep checking out more animes, and I'll see you next week.